Hey guys, what's going on? Icy here for Endgame Plus, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. This is going to be a post-game commentary of a ranked flex game that I played recently. It was a game where I achieved an S ranking, and I also wanted to kind of show you guys what you can do when you get invaded. Now, I didn't know I was getting invaded until right about now, where Blitzcrank flash hooks a Jinx, ignites a Jinx, Jinx flashes, and they just walk off. Now, seeing 4 people there, including the mid laner, who was a Pantheon, yes, Pantheon. We have no problem just walking straight across mid because there's no minions to spot us, and he's at my blue. So we're just going to go and take Warwick's blue. So, yeah, they're down 2 summoner spells and time, and bot lane just recalled. They're still going to get their minions. I'm now going to take Warwick's blue. And our top laner, who was a Braum, came down and helped me. It was welcomed because the stun from his Q was very useful. Anyway, so we take either blue, we take the Gromp, and I'll take this time to actually say that on top of a Braum top, and a Pantheon mid, we had a Camille support. I don't know what happened. I think something happened in the pre-game lobby and they were meant to switch. I don't know. I got up and left. I didn't. I was doing other things. So, we turn around here and we take the crab. Always take the crab. We want that vision. We want that movement speed for ganks. And we don't want them to have it because we don't want them to have those buffs. So, Lulu actually gets first blood and gets executed by a tower, which is great because Warwick gets nothing. But then seeing Warwick mid and seeing him go off into his blue, we feel it's safe to continue taking our red side jungle because he's just going to go in and have not much to do aside from taking his wolves. And we take our red first instead of doing chickens or Krugs because we don't want him to get salty and then come looking for retribution in my jungle. Because at level 2, I can't really fight him very well. Especially not with this level of health and not having, not smiting the red for some reason. So we take our Krugs. We set up the little one because we don't want, well, we want to eliminate as much damage as possible. And we can get that down rather quickly. And total stancing the little Krugs is great because it gives health regen that they can't get through the barrier for. So we ping Braum to come and help us. We bear stance in to smite that Krug because we don't want him getting that 70 gold. I want that 70 gold. And I like this trend of top laners listening my pings. It's very helpful. And I kind of do a bit of an oops here. I should have not ran into the knockup. So Warwick flash fears me, goes straight for the Braum who jumps to me, and we just walk off because he exhausted the Scion. So he accomplished nothing but wasting his time, essentially. And if we pull up the scoreboard, he's got 13 CS to my 19 CS. And he's just wasting time at this point. So we go back down. We didn't know that he actually finished off my Krog. So I'm basically like, you bitch at this point. So I run down. I take my chickens. And yeah, it's kind of hard to take chickens at this health. But, you know, whatever. They still do a lot of damage. That's why you got total stance. Warwick got a kill on the low health Lulu. And yeah, it's not very hard to get kills early game as Warwick because people get low health and you can just sprint at them. There's nothing I can do about it. And we saw Warwick going bot side, so we're basically just keeping an eye on that at the moment because we don't want him to get any more of my jungle. And that's why we just take out wolves because, you know, we don't want him getting any more of our jungle. I usually don't put wards in my jungle, but with how aggressive this Warwick has been, I want to know if he ever comes in, because then I can ping people to come and assist me to just mess him up, essentially. So, we take our wolves, and we recall, because we've got no mana to do anything. But we see top that Braum is being pushed to tower, as you'd expect is Scion Braum matchup, which is going to make for an easy gank, which is about to come. So we ping that we're coming. And if we pull up the scoreboard, we've just got our Chilling Smite because we've got our tier 1 jungle item. Or technically tier 2. And our boots. And the reason we have boots is because Warwick gets a ton of movement speed for moving towards low health people. And regardless of the fact if he ganks or not, he still gets to walk along that path and get absurd amounts of movement speed, which he can just use to get to his camps quicker, depending on where the low health person is. Now, Lulu just picked up another kill, and probably should have just suicided the tower, really, instead of giving Warwick that kill. But we come in, we bear stance, we stun him, we activate the Braum stun, so we've accidentally stacked our CC, which isn't good, but he's not getting away. And we pick up our first kill. And you know what happens when we pick up our first kill if we haven't died yet? That's the start of our snowball. So, we do that, we walk off, we get our our Scuttle Crab. We get our Scuttle Crab because, as I said, we don't want them to ever have Scuttle Crab if we can help it. Plus it's worth 4 minions, so it really pads out our CS score. So we grab that, we get this, and because we saw Warwick recalling in mid, we're comfortable that we can take Gromp very quickly before he gets to us. So we take that, we drop a ward in his blue because we want to keep an eye on him as much as we can. Especially if we're counter jungling. Like if I see him at blue and I'm on bot side, I'm going into his red jungle to take all his stuff. So we see that he's low health and we're going to go in and try and help. But we didn't get to help, unfortunately. And you would think we could just bear stance and use the monkey agility to get the 15 movement speed to chase down this Scion. But with the way that he's moving made me a bit nervous. And he could just jump over this. But my initial thought was Warwick was coming to help him. And that's exactly what happened. Now, if they had actually looked in that bush, I'd probably be dead right now. Unless I could actually flash away. But yeah, they don't really accomplish too much. I get my 2 longswords. Warwick gets my chickens. Scion gets a chicken. But he's missing out on all of this. He could have got all of these minions, pushed this in the tower, and denied Braum all these minions, all this gold, all this CS, but he didn't. So that was a real misplay by him. And now we see Warwick. He's been waiting in my red bush for about 15 seconds already, just waiting for me to rock up to get it, but I want my blue. Because I've been running out of mana a lot, so I definitely want to get my blue. So I got my blue, I've got my Gromp, and now he still hasn't even decided to take it yet. He's been sitting there for about 30 seconds, and now he's getting it. And like I don't really care about that. I don't know he's doing it, of course, but I take Scuttle, and like what's that? He's been up there now for 45 seconds, and all he's done is take my red. I'm now taking Dragon with the help of my bot lane, which I've been trying to ping my bot lane or choosing times when the bot lane can actually help me to do Dragon because I don't want to get caught out anymore. So if I get down to like 1,000, I don't have smite or I'm half health and the enemy jungler just like goes boom over the wall and his smite steals it or kills me and then finishes it, or bot lane rocks up and kills me, then I'm not very happy. But we go in here and this is actually a failed gank. This was a lot of damage. And Kog'Maw actually almost killed us both. Definitely almost killed Jinx. One more ult would have killed her. But while that was happening, we got the Mountain Drake, which I value just under Infernal for its damage to objectives such as the towers, the inhibitors, and the epic monsters. They killed Braum. I don't really care about that because Braum's not going to be worth anything, but he'll be useful later. And Blitzcrank hooks the Camille. I'm just hanging around to make sure I don't tower dive them, and if they do, I'll bear stance and kill them under tower, and they won't be very happy about that. So I don't know where this was happening, but then yeah, see that happening in mid. And Warwick sprinting in, does not get an assist, thank God. So we've recalled. We have bought our Warhammer. So now I've got our 10% CDR. And we're going to want to hang around top again. Because Scion is... well, he's 3-1 at this point. And even though Braum isn't actually worth anything, it's still annoying to see him die over and over. And especially since Scion is basically a free kill. Because he just ulted down mid. So we're taking our chickens, keeping on top of our farm. And Yeah, Brom's ping for assistance. We say we'll come, and he knows to let him push into tower, not that he has much of a choice. So, we take this Scuttle Crab because, again, movement speed. The movement speed is great, but we're not sure if this Scion has his ward or not based on how he's moving around. And he's not just pushed up enough yet. But now he is, and we pick up that movement speed, and we turtle stance right when we get to about here. Yep, so that makes it last. So we bear stance in, and he tries to do tricky stuff in the bushes, but I get that chilling smite on him. Braum gets the ult, I get the stun, we proc the Braum stun, and he's not going anywhere. Now here I bear stance him, because I do not want him picking up an after kill on Braum. I don't want him just to get that free easy kill. So I do that. I am now, get that scoreboard up, 2-0 with 59 CS. I'm 1 assist behind Warwick, but I have 10 more CS than Warwick. So we're about even at this point, which is fantastic. So we're just keeping an eye on all the lanes at the moment. We see bot lane's fine, it's going about even. Brom's pushing his minions, and Lulu is dying to Pantheon, and then no, Lulu kills Pantheon and then dies to Warwick. That's a thing that kept happening this game essentially. So she's been really doing well against Pantheon, but yeah. And then we saw Warwick going bot lane, so we ping the crap out of bot, which ends up saving the Camille. Even though she got ulted and smited, it did not matter. So that was great. We saved Warwick getting another kill there. So, we're not really able to do too much, so we're going to recall, we're going to finish our jungle item, and we're probably going to go top again, just because, again, look how pushed this Scion is all the time, and he's always half health for some reason. I don't know what they're doing, but, yeah, Warwick being bot lane, he did get a kill out of that, and Braum being low health lets Warwick just speed through the lanes. So I would try and warn him that this Warwick is coming, with furious pinging. It does not matter, because he gets clipped by the knock-up, he gets feared, and he's not getting out of that. But now, you see this, we've got Pantheon top, and we can see that now. We've got Pantheon top, we've got Warwick top, we've got Scion top. They're all up here to get this no-health tower, and this is half health. They shouldn't have done that. So we just push straight into mid. We get this tower. And basically for free. Like, we didn't even have to do any work. There was no one here to stop us. So, yeah, we get that. And Jinx is bot farming. That's fine. We see the Blitzcrank. We stun him. And we end up taking a lot of damage just because we went on the tower. We killed the Blitz. We got shut down by the Blitzcrank, but I do believe Warwick got an assist on that. But Warwick dies, Pantheon regrets, Jinx is now here, and yeah, this is really good because Kog'Maw was just defending his tower, so he's not going to be here for a while. Jinx is just burning the crap out of this. Panth decides to drop in to say hi, and instantly regrets. So I think he underestimated Jinx's damage, but you know, he died, and then we almost got this tower if it wasn't for Scion ulting in, scaring them off. So that's fine. You know, Camille's dead. It's whatever. It can't really be avoided at this point. But we almost got both mid towers for those 3 being top. So if you keep an eye on the positioning of the enemies, you can actually put a lot of work in the rest of the map. So we're taking out blue. We're keeping an eye on the timer, and we see a dragon's about to spawn. We're just scrying bloom on that and make sure it's not warded. That ward that we just detected does not matter whatsoever. Taking Scuttle. Again, we've already been over that. And that's what I should not do. Don't initiate dragon to tiger stance because you'll lose about 1.5 seconds of your attack speed buff. You want to initiate with turtle stance and negate some of that damage and then do tiger. But the reason I was comfortable doing that on my own is because I am strong now. I have the full jungle item, the Sheen, and the Merc Treads. So I'm pretty good right now. And everyone was over mid to Rift Herald side. So I knew no one was coming to stop me. So right now we're just padding out our farm, getting some more money so we can get some more items. And also pushing bot in because our tower is nearly dead. But we don't go for the tower because we see that we've got these two mid. And we don't want them picking up a free mid tower. So we're watching that while we go off to do our wolves. Or our gromp actually, then our wolves. So a lot of it is you don't have to watch your camps while you take them. So watch the rest of the map, essentially. So like you're doing the wolves, you know when the tiger stance, you know what your rotation is, so you should be watching what's going on in the rest of the map so you know what your next play is. So this side obviously gets away, unfortunately, but I'm just doing the rest of my camps. And I'm 3-1 at the moment with 101 CS. I've got 31 more CS to this Warwick who has 2 extra kills and 2 extra assists on me. So I'm not that far behind. And I want to pick up Rift Herald for this. Because I don't see anyone on the map. So I assume that they're all in that lane area. But this is really good because Jinx decides to stop helping me and pressure this Warwick off the objective. But she's not doing much damage. So we flash bear stance to this Warwick, and if we hadn't have done that, Jinx would have been dead. So we pick up a kill on him, which puts him further behind, or helps put him further behind. And we end up getting a really good fight here. This is really good. So we kill the Warwick, we kill the Blitzcrank, Scion dies, and I basically just think this is a great time to use Rift Herald because we've got 3 people dead and this top tower is at full health. So there's not really going to be a better time to use it. So I dropped the Rift Herald and Tiger stancing on this. It's nearly dead. Now, you know how much damage that does. That nearly killed that tower with its one charge. Now, ideally I wanted to push in to get this second one, not knowing that Warwick was actually there. No one else really wanted to help me. Camille's going off into Warwick's jungle for God knows whatever reason. I sit in this buff just to watch this Pantheon. And, it still does a third of the tower, which is fine by me. So we decide to recall in this bush, pretty much. Because we got nothing else to do. We've done the majority of the damage to this tower. So we're not going to push in now, essentially. So we're back, we've got 3/4 of our Trinity Force. So we've got our attack speed, we've got our basic attacks grant movement speed, and, the sheen, obviously. So we're bear stancing down here because this Blitzcrank's been a bit cocky. And it looked like Pantheon is coming in to help him. I didn't know that, of course. If Blitzcrank had waited a little bit longer and actually blown us both over the wall, they probably could have killed me, but he didn't. So, I'm easily distracted by getting more CS, so we'll grab that Scuttle Crab and we'll go into Warwick's jungle for reasons, because he should never have counter-jungled me. Blitzcrank's scared of me at this point, because I'm 2 levels above him and he's 2/3 health, and we're dancing around the red buff so he can't randomly hook us. We take the chickens, or a couple of the chickens, before Pantheon rocks up. And misses the hook. We actually got bot tower while I was doing that, while 2 people were occupied by me. I'm clearing CS at mid. Keeping up with the gold, going to get my red side farm. Top's obviously got this handled. Lulu with the support of Braum. I'm getting more CS. I'm progressively getting further and further ahead of this Warwick. Like, he's got 1 more assist on me at this point. He's died 3 more times. And I have 60 CS. It's not that great for him right now. So we're watching this fight. And we decided to come in, if not to actually kill anybody, but just pressure them away. And we got Pantheon's flash, which is fine. I wanted to just run up and grab this tower. But I didn't want to get stunned by the Pantheon and have that not go my way. Which was a perfectly fine decision because we killed the Pantheon and we killed the Blitzcrank. And this is where I should have just left, because going back in here got me killed by Kog'Maw. And that made me decide that Kog'Maw was actually doing a lot of damage after I checked the scoreboard and saw that he actually had the most kills on his team. So I thought to myself, what about Kog'Maw just did all that damage? And pulling up death recap, it was mostly the magic damage from his W. So I start buying an adaptive helm just to help with that. And it ended up being a really good choice of items. Now, I don't complete it for a little while longer, but they ended up taking those several kills and turning that into the tier 1 mid tower being taken, which was actually pretty good for them. We see that Dragon's about to be up. It's a Cloud Drake, which is, you know, whatever. It's out of combat movement speed. They can have it if they want it, but, you know, whatever. So, Warwick here, he's one level under me. He's not nearly as fed, and he's still in my jungle thinking he can do stuff. So he gets my blue. Blitzcrank regrets. I kill Blitzcrank with the bear stance. And this Warwick thinks he's tricky. He spears me too early. Doesn't get the fear. I get the stun and he dies. I'm flashing the mastery because he should never have been in my jungle. And here I actually stopped for a second because he was like, fear question mark? I was like, you used it too early and that's why you died. So this is the time where we actually notice that we're losing top. And Braum is actually fighting very valiantly to defend it. And that's great. I like that attitude. So we recall. And we actually pick up a rejuve bead, I think it was. So we get our Spectre's Cow and we get our rejuve bead. And we basically, bear sets right out of base. And we're going to come and mess these kids up if they're still here. Which they actually were. And Lulu prevents the recall at the last possible moment. Tries to Yumu's away. We don't care about that. Yumu's movement speed is nothing on Udyr, so we kill him. The reason we're checking for the Sire is because we thought his trajectory might have taken him into a wall, and we could still catch him, but that was not the case. So, we're looking around now. We see that mid is pushing in, which is great. We decide to counter jungle a bit more. We drop a ward because we're keeping an eye on this Warwick. And we want to know everywhere where he is. Because if we know where he is, we can get him very easily. So we get the scuttle and we come back in. Now, I didn't know there were so many more people here. But I also didn't notice that the rest of my team was slowly funneling in. So, Camille with the baits, which is great. Blitzcrank flashes away from me. I go in, get feared. I then stun the Warwick. And then watch this damage come out. On the Blitzcrank, of course. So we kill the Blitz, and then watch this Warwick. Bam. He done. Now, I didn't see the Pantheon actually dropping in. That's why I was still tunnel visioning this Scion, who I never actually killed. Should not have taken that. And basically, I'm just taking unnecessary damage from towers. And I still think I could probably get him, which I don't, but Camille's here. So we push this wave in, and we actually take this tower, which is great, because obviously towers are the gateway to winning. So, get that. Finish off these minions. And then we basically just run around for a little bit. There wasn't very much downtime in this game. Like, time when I wasn't actually doing something. I was always on the move. And that's kind of what you want to be. The time that you spend not doing something is the time that your enemies can do things. Like that Warwick sitting in my red for 45 seconds allowed me to clear my entire blue side and get a dragon. Yeah, it's wasting time. So, I know where my team is. I've got 2 people here that are just giving me indirect vision. I've got 2 people here. And I'm quite comfortable soloing dragon. Because if anyone comes at me, they're going to get sandwiched from both sides. So, our Braum just got killed by the Kog'Maw, which is not great. Kog'Maw is doing a lot of work for their team, because Warwick is doing nothing at this point. I have double his CS, 3 more kills, and 2 less assists. So he's doing nothing at this point. And I just keep farming. It's like, I don't care. Like, if there's nothing for me to do, I'm farming. So, I'm pinging for assistance on this tower, which I'm not stupid enough to try and 1v4. We've got a slow from Kog'Maw. We've got a stun from Pantheon. We've got a knock up by Scion. And we've got a fear by Warwick. And I can't deal with that. And I don't know what Lulu was thinking here. Like, she knew where they were going. And yes, the caliber of these blitz hooks, it warms my heart to see these blitz hooks on the enemy team and not my team for once. So we recall here, we finish our adaptive helm, and we start work on our Dead Man's Plate. And we wait around a little bit because we want to get the Giant's Belt for the extra health, which is very useful. And then Jinx, who has done very little this game, but has not really fed much. She's only died 4 times. She just got a quad. She was 4-4 until right then when she got a quad, which was great. So she ended up actually being a very big asset to our team. Top of the Lulu. So for once I had the good team. It was great. Now I was very adamant that I wanted a Baron at this point. And that's why I wasn't with my team. I should have been with the team, getting this tower, getting this in here, getting this tower down here. But instead, and seeing that they were all respawning, I'm not going to bother at this point. So I'm going to clear up this way before it crashes into the tower. I'm going to get all that experience. I'm going to get all this gold. It ends up netting me something like 300, 350 gold. And that's getting me ever closer to my Dead Man's Plate. And, you know, that builds up movement speed, it builds up damage, and it's great. So, we're getting a lot of golden experience right now. We're level 14, Warwick's level 12. He's 8, 7, and 4. We're 10, 2, 2. We have nearly triple his CS at this point. And he's just feeding, really. Like, he can't do anything. He jumps in with his ult. He's not tanky enough. And my team has just gotten so far ahead at this point. Whether that be from me not allowing him to jungle, me putting pressure on Sion, me being everywhere, or whether it be that they just made a whole heap of mistakes at the times I wasn't around and my team just got fed. They've just started to really fall. So I actually come down from Baron at this point. I get the inhibitor, and we end up taking this Nexus Tower very easily. Pantheon gets up. Pantheon regrets because I bear stance him and he dies. Warwick comes in. Warwick regrets. He doesn't die as quickly though. So he still dies. And then Kog'Maw shows up. You see, Kog'Maw is really not doing any damage to me anymore because of that adaptive helm. And I also have armor, which negates the other half. Bear stance the Blitzcrank so he can't chase me and Lulu out of the base. So after that, you know, what else am I going to do? I'm going back to farming. And I think she actually does die here. You'd think she would, but Jesus, she gets away. Anyway, so what I should be doing here, which I need to remember to do, is Tiger Stance into Turtle Stance to get all that health regen back, because these monsters aren't going to be getting through my shield before I start healing. So I could have been at near full health if I had actually done that, and I would recommend anyone watching this video to remember to Tiger into Turtle when you're low health. And, you know, we've done a lot of work in their base at this point. So they're all in their base, they're not going to be able to do much, so we're going back to farming. And now we're going to do Baron, because it's a good time to do Baron. They can't really come and stop us at this point. So I'm clearing out my jungle while I'm waiting for everyone to group up. Jinx is here, Camille's here, and that's really all we need, because, yeah, me and Jinx are going to do a lot of damage. Camille's doing a decent amount of damage in her own right. I've got Smite up, and that's perfectly fine with me. So we recall here, and we finish our Dead Man's Plate, and then we actually spend a good deal of time trying to figure out what our next item should be. And we did end up settling on a Titanic Hydra. But while we're debating what items to buy in the shop, they're actually pushing into the enemy base and ending the game. You see, I haven't actually decided yet. I'm still looking through the items. And they're taking the last Nexus Tower. They're killing Pantheon first. I don't know what he thought he was doing. Still haven't got my Tiamat. Killed the Blitzcrank. Still haven't got my Tiamat. Took the Nexus Tower. Finally got my Tiamat. And now I look down to the Nexus and I'm like, oh, okay. They finished the game for me. Excellent. I don't know what I was doing. Guess it's just trolled. But, you know, I hope this video was informative for you guys. I hope you learned something. You know, maybe it be what to do when you get counter jungled, what to do to put the enemy jungler behind, how to gank a bit better, maybe even how to play Udyr a bit better. I'm by no means no expert, but I like doing these videos. I hope you guys like them. So if you did, you know, leave a like. If you liked it a lot, leave a comment. And if you liked it infinitely, drop a sub. Until next time, see ya.